Hello everyone, welcome back to MentorMe. In today's video, we'll be talking about some Excel tips, especially row and column functions on Excel. So this will be very beneficial for anyone into data analytics or even simply someone who would just like to perform calculations or entries or data analysis on Excel. You might be a school project, homework, university project, which requires to perform functions on rows and columns and find out the results. So let's dive right into it. So today's video is actually about functions regarding rows and columns that involve both of these. So to start off with a very basic example to teach you how to do this, I'm going to use the multiplication table. So going to fill it right now. So you know that if you just fill out one of these cells and drag it down, it's just going to give you the same. But if you drag it with both of these selected, it's going to know that you're going to want to increment this by 1. Then goes to your columns as well. Just drag it here. So what we're trying to achieve here is I just want to come up with a multiplication table where we will be multiplying each row by each column, and the result has to be shown in the respective cell. So for example, if you have 5 over here and you have 7 over here, you know that you have to be getting 35 over here. So that has to be your corresponding result. So let's see how you do that without using a specific function. Because you know, if you multiply, you could just be adding a simple formula that is going to help you just multiply these two cells and return the value 1. But you see, once you use this, the value is going to be bogus. It's going to be a garbage value because over here, what you're getting is not 1 multiplied by 4, but you will be getting 6 multiplied by 4 because this particular cell keeps incrementing. It keeps moving to the right by 1 cell at each time. So that is what we are trying to avoid. This is not the answer that we want. So if you fill it just this way, you're going to get a garbage value for every cell. So let's see how you do that properly. Starting off with the first point. So what you basically want to do is you want to multiply this cell by this cell. And that's going to get you the answer. Now, when you come over here, it's not going to multiply 1 by 2. It's just going to multiply this particular 1 by 2. And once you come over here, it's going to multiply this particular value with this particular value and return the value over here. But that's not what we want. So what we want right here is we want the value of 1 to be a constant throughout each row. We want 1 to be constant, which means we want this particular cell number 2 to be a constant, right? We need this row 2 to be a constant. And then when you come to, let's say, a cell over here, we want row 4 to be a constant. Isn't that right? So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to keep column A, a constant. But you see, and whilst you're going down, the row number changes. The row number keeps changing, but this particular column A, does not change. So we need to add a $ to A. Just over here, what you got to do is just add a $ to letter A. So that is a column that you wouldn't be changing. So just put a $ over there, right before A. And now let's see what happens when your columns keep changing, right? So at this particular point, you know that you need A2 to be multiplied by B1. And at this point, you want A2 to be multiplied by C1. So in this case, you see that the column letter A, B, C keeps changing, but the number of the route does not change. Is that right? So when you come to this particular point, right, you want this to be multiplied by, this and add the value over here. So when you keep going down each cell, you see that B, C, E. But does 5 change? No, 5 does not change. So that is exactly what happens when you move to the right. You have B1 at this point. At this point, you have C1. At this point, you have D1. So in that case, you see that the letter of each column changes, the number remains still. If you want this number, this 1, to be a constant, you add a dollar sign before the number, just before the number. So in this case, we added the dollar sign before the letter of the column, and over here, we added a dollar sign to the number of the row. So now let's see what that gives us. So if what we are trying to do here is correct, we should get 35 over here and 100 over here. So let's see if we are successful. So that's right. So we get the multiplication table done perfectly. So this you can apply for any of your data analytics. Let's say that you're coming up with a graph and you have the time constraints over here at t equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get different values of, let's say, distance or speed or whatever it is. So you might be trying to calculate velocity or any of that sort of thing. So if whatever you want in these columns, the corresponding cell, you can calculate by simply following these steps. It's as easy as that. If you want to go a step further and let's say add a constant to each of these, you want them to be multiplied by each other and to add a constant, you don't have to worry. You just put that in brackets and just add whatever constant you need. Let's say constant is 4. And just like that, you apply it to every column. You're supposed to get 104 over there if you're correct. And yes, we are correct. That's exactly how you navigate through this simple problem of using a function to get some sort of relationship between your rows and your columns. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching my video, and I genuinely hope that all of you were able to gain some sort of knowledge on the tips and wrap your heads around the easy navigation and easy techniques of moving around on Microsoft Excel. So if you would like to watch more videos or get to know other Microsoft Excel tips or any other tips, just please let me know down below on the comments. And if this video genuinely helped you today, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. So thank you. See you guys.